So it has been about a year since we have spoken, probably a little bit more. I knew I was going to keep you guys up to date on everything that was going on back then about starting a company and what our plans were going to be, doing all of that, and I fell through. Had some things come up that were just making things a lot more difficult to be able to make any videos or do anything, so we're going to try this one last time. And the reason we're going to try this is because of a new carrier we're with. As you see, we're in a hotel room. We're doing orientation day 1. I'm going to upload day 1, 2, and 3 videos all at the same time. Just in case anything happens during orientation. It's always a fear of mine, pet peeve of mine, and everything else. I don't let anybody know until I'm officially hired on. So last time we spoke, we were with Swift. Leased a truck with them. I don't remember if we spoke when we leased the first Kenworth or the second one, if you guys knew. But just a real quick rundown. The first Kenworth we had leased with them. Went from Virginia to Salt Lake City. Truck had no power. Truck had no anything. Just real sluggish, real bad. We were burning through DEF more than we were burning through diesel. It was just a horrible load. Got it out to the shop in Salt Lake City. The shop in Virginia gave us no information on the truck. Got it out to Salt Lake City. They started going through it and everything. Realized that the truck was over 200,000 miles overdue for a service. So they took us out of the truck. Put us into another one. Had a 6-month lease on it, I think is what it was. We finished it out. Did everything we needed to do there. And then we moved back to Iowa from Ohio, and I went with another flatbedding company. I went with a flatbedding company. I decided that's what I wanted to do. I'd known I wanted to, but I finally had the ability to find a flatbedding company that would hire me, and that would work with me, with no experience and everything else. We're not going to talk about that company. I left on not great terms, not bad terms. If I need another job, I can always go back, but I'm going to try not to need that job again. Just some things happened. Like I said, we're not going to discuss that. We are now doing orientation at Carrier One. Now, there's not a lot of information on YouTube about Carrier One. I hope to be able to create more. I hope to be able to do a bunch of that stuff. And I just realized I've been swaying in this whole video, so that's probably making somebody feel nauseous. Sorry about that. Carrier One is a fully owner-operator company, full flatbed. That's all they do. They don't do hazmat. They don't do anything like that. Only flatbedding stuff. The reason we ended up choosing Carrier One, first off, we were in a little bit of a pinch trying to get away from the previous company we were with. Just things were going downhill. So they offered us a really good deal. It is quote-unquote lease purchase. I know we've already done that. I know what everybody's going to say who watches this. Oh, lease purchase is the worst thing in the world, this, that, and everything else. I know what Kevin Rutherford says about lease purchase. I know what you guys are referring to. Here's the reason why we were willing to do this again with Carrier One. First off, with most companies, like Swift, you do your lease, you do everything else, brand new truck, lease it for 5 years, however long, and you still going to owe $60,000 to $80,000 at the end of the lease. Over here, 3 to 5 years on a lease is what the average is. You can pay extra payments, make extra money, do everything you need to do, and pay off the truck. The truck's yours. You get the title when you make your last payment. You hand them a dollar bill at the end, truck's yours. You go, you're good. Yes, it is a walkaway lease. It's also a drive-away lease. I think there's a little bit more stipulations on that I will get into later on. We talked with the lease program, with the leasing company and everything else Wednesday. I may not talk to them until next week or the week after that because they still want me to go out on training. Because the last company I was with, they refused to train me on how to do coils. So, and that's what a lot of Carrier One does. Carrier One's freight is 80+% tarp, but it's not too big of a deal. Like I said, they do a lot of coils though also. we were approved for either a used truck, a brand new truck, or what they call a platinum truck, which would be a 389. Somebody was saying it was a 379, but I think it's a 389. Or a W900, that's a platinum truck, so $5,000 down. It's not bad to have one, but, or you can get into a brand new T680 or a brand new Peterbilt 573, I think, I'm not sure. With no money down. You can get into a brand new one or a used one. Just depends on what you're doing. The good thing about the company that I liked was you make 80% of the load. And no, again, I know what a lot of you guys are going to say. Oh, well, what's 80% of a dollar? If that's what the company's brokering them at. I have the option to turn down any load that the company offers me. And on top of that, I have the option to broker. Well, not broker, but I have the option to find my own freight. I can use any load board. I can use anything I want. Go out, find the load, call Carrier One, say, hey, this is what I've got. Give them the number to call the broker. I can call the broker first. Say, hey, this is where I'm at. I want to have my people call you. They call them up. They say, yeah, we're good to go. Carrier One takes 20% of whatever the posted rate is, and everybody's happy. I'm not going to say Landstar's a bad idea. I'm not going to say Landstar's a bad company. I've never drove for Landstar. Landstar obviously was one of our options earlier. We didn't know about Carrier One. But Carrier One is paying their drivers more than Landstar does. So that was something else that I kind of liked. I know a lot of people do good with Landstar. So, like I said, first day of orientation, though, drug screens, if you have to do one. A lot of drivers, I think there's only 4 or 5 of us that had to do drug screens. The rest of them did them at home. Carrier One will give you either a plane. Some drivers were saying they got on a plane, but they never offered me that. It's either a train or a Greyhound. Otherwise, they'll compensate you to come down, like most carriers do. You get your own room during orientation. Breakfast is on the hotel. Lunch is on Carrier One. Dinner's on yourself. I don't know if today was just a fluke. They paid for our dinner also. We had Pizza Hut. Jimmy John's for lunch. Not bad food. It wasn't horrible. Better than what some places I've had given you. We went through safety. We went through logbooks. We went through just some of the basic rules and stipulations and things like that the company has and all of that stuff. Every carrier will tell you, and Carrier One's no different. Safety's our most important priority. We need to get our CSA score down. We need to do better here. We need to do better there. Carrier One tells you the same thing. It's the same old spiel. But Carrier One also goes more into depth on why certain things are certain ways. Because you're not a driver. There are no company drivers here. Unless you run a fleet and you've got drivers on that fleet. You can be a fleet owner over here. But there is not a single company driver here. Everybody here is an independent contractor. So you are not an employee to Carrier One. You are a business partner. If you fail, Carrier One fails. And that's the way they look at it. That's the way they tell you. That's, obviously it's an orientation. Things don't always go the way in the real world as they do in orientation. But they preach, if you fail, it's because we failed you. So we're going to see how it works. They're telling us that we can go home every weekend. We don't know if we're going to do every weekend or every other weekend yet. But we'll get it figured out one way or another. We did it. The first day you'll have a test. It looks like there's going to be a test tomorrow also. There could, no, there won't be a test on Wednesday. We should either get on a trainer truck Wednesday or Thursday. I wish we could avoid the trainer truck, but that's beside the point. They go through most of your stuff before you come to orientation. They still do a little bit of checking once you get here, but they go through mostly everything before you come. So when you come in, you know you're pretty much set, as long as you can pass your drug screen. So far, it's not bad. The room's not bad. Accommodations ain't bad. Carrier One is sharing a building with a few other companies, so that's a little different for my aspect. But they've only got 300 trucks, so I mean, you can't expect a Swift or a Knight or a CRST or something like that. You can't expect that when they're that small. They pay their drivers well. They pay their contractors well, I should say. They're a good business partner. They take 20%. They're putting their necks on the line for the drivers so that we can get these trucks. Because from what my understanding was today, and I'll know more on Wednesday when we talk to the leasing company. But from what my understanding was today is that everything's going to report to you, because they do a credit report on you. So just like on a car, it reports to your credit every month you make your payments. From what I was understanding, it's going to report to your credit every month when you make your payments on time. Carrier one does take the money out of your settlement, but it's still going to report. I hope it's that way. We'll talk to the leasing company later. We know what we want. Carrier one gets a rundown on the specifications on what you want before you come to orientation. And if your credit's good enough, then you get first pick. My credit was better than some of the other drivers, so I get a better pick even though I'm going out with a trainer. I'll get a better pick than what other drivers want. Everybody knows I like a standard truck. That's the only thing I requested. I don't care if it's got a fridge. I don't care if it's got an APU. I don't care if it's got this, that, or anything else. Make sure there's a stick coming out of that floor. That's all I care about. I can put the rest of the stuff on later. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, it's just something that we're going to have to figure out. It doesn't seem like a bad deal right now. Does not seem bad at all. And I'm creating these videos because I did research on Carrier One before I came here. Unfortunately, they are a small company. There wasn't much information about them online. So, truck payments should range between $600 and $950, and we've been told that the platinum trucks, so the W9, the 389, would be the platinum, and those are $950. Trailer rental fees are anywhere between $180 and $240, I think is what the prices are, depending on what you want. Carrier One will sell you all of your equipment that you need, but they'll sell you the minimum. And I've got a sheet about all of that I can show you guys later on what that would be. It's enough to get started. It's enough to get working. It's obviously not enough to go out and do a 120,000 pound excavator or something like that, but it's enough to get yourself rolling. $3,000. The first week you don't have a truck payment or insurance or trailer rental. The second week you don't have truck payment, trailer insurance, or trailer rental. The third week you got those payments. But the second week, if you take the equipment from the company, they charge you $900 for the first week. It's the second settlement that you'll get. They'll charge you $900 on it. After that, it's $50 a week. It's not a bad deal. I don't see it as a bad deal, I should say. And like I said, I'll get all the paperwork printed off and everything else so that I can show you guys all the paperwork and everything else. You guys know I'm a cheap YouTuber. Well, I don't even know if I count myself as a YouTuber because I failed at this the last 2 times I tried it. But I want to try to give people a little bit more advice on Carrier One than what's already out there. And I want to try to build with you guys. So, at this point, I want to call home, talk to the wife, talk to the baby. And I want to probably go to bed because I'm tired. It was a long drive down here last night. We didn't leave until after church. So, have a good night. Have a good day. It'll probably be Wednesday or Thursday before it gets uploaded. Today's Monday. So, yeah. Have a good day, guys. God bless you.